All right, welcome everyone. Let's get right into the stock market technical analysis. We're looking for opportunities to make money in the market. I'm going to point out exactly what I'm seeing in the charts, give you my thoughts on where things are heading, point out some trade ideas, and we'll wrap it up. Guys, bear with me though. I do have a cold, so going to be a little rough today, but let's get into it. So, triple Qs. All right. We've got some more. We've got, a little counter trend bounce this morning, but in general, here's my thoughts. Yesterday was very impulsive selling. If I look at the daily chart, and really if I narrow it down to the hourly chart, there were levels of support that we found no reactions at. Right here, 300, we just sliced right through that. Okay, that was a kind of a level. We also had this little reaction here at 296, 297. Yesterday, we just sliced through it. Today, it's been really holding up as resistance all day. So you can see right there, they kept trying to pop it, but it's kept acting as resistance. So I'm thinking that we're not going to see much more of a bounce, and we're going to continue lower. If I go to the hourly chart also, and looking at this was my former uptrend line here. You can see that we had, some reactions here. We had another one right here, and then it was resistance right there. We did break above it, but I think I can probably draw another trend line. It looks like I don't want to move this one because I think it was still a valid trend line. But you can see we've got a little bit of a trend right there, where we've got some reactions here, and then kind of our price action today. That I'm going to leave that trend line up there. Also, if you look at the SPY. The SPY has a trend line. I haven't had to redraw this one, but you can see here on the daily chart, we've got support, and we're pretty much right there at support on this trend line. So support, support, support. Okay, there's support. And again, I'm looking for a breakdown or a sell signal. It's probably going to be pretty impulsive, maybe with a gap down in the overnight session, but I am thinking we're going to get that. The price action yesterday really showed me what this market's all about. The fact that we broke through key levels of support and there was just really strong selling. I think that it's telling us that we're about to make the next leg lower in the bear market. For me, I'm trading it with Qs. So I'm going back to triple Qs and looking at the daily chart. Our price target for this next leg lower is right down here. It's about 238, all right, 238, 240. We get in that area, and that's really going to be the target for this next drop. And again, it's going to be pretty bearish. The market is going to be freaking out. You'll hear a lot of the economy is going to start to struggle. The economy is tied to the stock market. I was hearing the other day from someone that a hospital was not doing very well with their accounting because they were taking their excess money and putting it into the market. And it just shows you how much the stock market is, how much the economy and the real world and businesses are leveraged to the stock market. I know insurance companies are very leveraged. You got pension funds. Everything's tied to the stock market. So if we see that next leg lower, we're going to start to see some real problems in the economy. And that's just, things that are bound to happen. Okay, so the point is, we could be at support on both triple Qs with that new trend line and then also the SPY. But I don't think we're going to hold for very long. I think we're going to break. That's just my gut feel. With the price action yesterday, is I'm kind of working that into my analysis. Let's look at the small caps, IWM. And I know we got a big mess going on here, but let me kind of clean that up. IWM on the daily chart. We have this trend line down here to watch. And really, it's what I'm really more concerned about. Let me get rid of this one. Is just this uptrend line right here. You can see support, 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 and pretty much right there. We need to break that as the next sell signal. So we're at support across the indices. It makes sense that we're seeing a small bounce today, but we'll see if this bounce gets sold into. I think it does. One of the things that makes me believe, if I look over at the FANG stocks like Apple and look at these stocks they're getting sold into. Apple, I've been watching it kind of this morning, and it just keeps getting sold into. Even though triple Qs was kind of holding up near that level of resistance about 297, Apple was selling down. There's a lot of Apple stock that institutions, index funds, pensions own a lot of Apple stock. I mean, it's just really saturated in terms of, it's like every single index and ETF and everybody owns Apple stock. So there's a lot of stock that needs to be sold or exited if these funds want to start selling, thinking their prices are going to go down. They need to sell a lot of Apple stock. So I'm seeing weakness in Apple. And again, Apple's such a heavy hitter in the indices. It's just the number one largest company and largest stock. And its weighting in a lot of these funds is so big that if you're selling Apple stock, the funds are going to have indexes, and everything is not going to go higher if you're selling Apple stock. So that's all I'm seeing there. Nothing real key to watch in terms of levels of breaking, but I am short. I did short Apple. I shorted it 2 days ago, shorted a little bit of Apple. It's kind of the same as shorting triple Qs, but it just looked like a pretty clean chart. So took the short there at that tag of resistance. Again, I talked about wanting to be short a couple days ago before the big drop, and so far so good. All right, let's talk Tesla. So Tesla is, I like it as a short. We could go a little higher, and again, I'm more interested in swing trading Tesla to the downside than I am catching it, I'm willing to ride out some of the bounces. So let me show you what I got on the chart. On the hourly chart, well, let me go to the daily first. On the daily chart here, you can see we have negative divergence. Okay, this last high right there, that's an equal high to this former high, but momentum is clearly lower. So momentum is dropping off on the daily chart. Now they may want to pop it up on the daily and make a new marginal new high, maybe above this 314 area. If they pop it up there, you also have a downtrend line up at 350. I don't think we get up there, but there is that potential to watch. And that downtrend line you can see would be strong resistance. But again, if they run up and pop it and make a new divergent high, it will still be negative divergence on the daily. I don't think we get there. I think that's I do think it's going to start to sell off. If I look at the hourly chart here, you can see kind of going down to the smaller time frame that we made a slightly new high today from yesterday. Here's the former high, and we kind of made a slightly new high, and it is divergence, all right, a divergent high. So negative divergence on the daily, negative divergence on the hourly tells me that we're going to sell off and continue to go lower. I think we head down when I look at it, probably down here, get a reaction down here around the 275-ish zone, and then ultimately break that. But yeah, I think we're heading down to there. Maybe we work our way over a couple days. There is some support right in here at 280. So I think we start to sell off, head down, maybe hit that, get a bounce down here. I'll likely cover my short trade. I am short this one, full disclosure. I'll probably cover it if we get down here and wait, ride out a little bounce, or maybe reshort it on a bounce, and then wait for the sell signal to break this trend line. We break the trend line, Tesla's going a lot lower. Okay, so that's all I have on that one. Gold. So gold continues to look weak. I'm really leaning towards we break this 1680 level. Probably when the market gets an impulsive breakdown, if the market's going to continue to sell off down towards our targets, then gold's probably going to break down too. And so we could break this 1680. What I'll be watching for is, do we break and then recover? If we recover the 1680 after we break down, that's going to be a bear trap. That's going to be a very bullish event, and I'll be looking to go long gold and a lot of these miners. So that's all I have right now. Watch 1680 as a key level. Again, why is it support? I mean, you can see here all the reactions: support, 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 support. So it's a very important level. Guys, if you're interested in learning this as a skill set and not just following along the YouTube channel, then take my stock market technical analysis course, link in the description below. That's going to have all kinds of detailed videos where it's going to go through exact step-by-step really how to look at charts, how to analyze them, how to set up your trades, look for trade ideas, how to take action, and how to manage risk. So if you're interested, link in the description below. And finally, if you're interested in joining the private membership group, I'm throwing out additional trade ideas, additional market insight. We do a Saturday live stream where you can bring any charts you want me to look at and analyze, all for the private member group. So it's a super cheap, affordable option if you want to get additional market insight and trade ideas from me. Link in the description below on that one, or there should be a join button next to this. Like the old subscribe button would be a join button. It just doesn't work on an iPhone. You have to hit the link in the description below on an iPhone. That's just Apple being Apple for you. Sorry guys, had a phone call. I'm not sure where I left off. Let's talk about this trade idea, FSLR. This looks like a good one. Now we just have a setup, but I definitely like this setup for a short trade. All right, so on the daily chart, we have negative divergence on the daily. We continue to kind of march higher on in the price. Momentum is dropping off. RSI is kind of flatline, but it's still negative divergence, and the PPO is dropping off. We have a trend line. I marked the trend line just on this most recent gap up. So if you go down to the hourly, you can see there's different ways you can draw it, but you know, maybe you want to drag it down just to capture kind of all the little spike downs. And you can see where we're at right now. We're just starting to crack. So we might get a sell signal today. What I would say is look for impulsive selling. You start to see a spike down, or you know, selling starting to show up. That's your sell signal, and that's the sell signal I'm going to take. So on the hourly chart here, you can see clear negative divergence. All right, so that was a divergent high just the other day, and we are moving lower in momentum. So this one's pretty much ripe for that sell-off or that sell signal. I don't know if we get it, you know, today. It's probably going to come in the form of a gap down. But if you do see it starting to sell off intraday, that would be a nice entry. So there's a trade idea. And with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. So guys, check out my course if you haven't done so. Join the private membership group if you're interested in getting additional trades, additional market insight from me. Then join up on that, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.